Today's podcast is brought to you by Inverted Gear. For all your jiu-jitsu needs, go to invertedgear.com. Save 15% off if you type in the coupon code ShowTheArt15 with no spaces. Our next sponsor is Chimera Coffee. That's Chimera Coffee with a K. They are a coffee brand that infused their coffee with nootropics. If you don't know what nootropics are, Google it. They can do a much better job at explaining it than I can. Go to chimeracoffee.com, type in the coupon code ShowTheArt for a nice little discount. Enjoy. On today's episode, we talk to Pati Fontes. She is a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt, and she is an avid competitor and one of the best in the world at that. She has won the Jiu-Jitsu Worlds and Nogi as a black belt and has been competing for a very long time, since she was a little girl in Brazil. We talk about her competition training, what she likes to do, her diet. We also talk about her students and how her students inspire her. We also talk about her ballet practice as a young girl and how that may have gave her a little extra edge when she first started training jiu-jitsu. We hope you enjoy it, and if you enjoy it, please give us a good review on iTunes and Stitcher. That stuff goes a long way, and we would really appreciate it. And here she is, Pati Fontes. So you're training for the Worlds? How's training for the Worlds? What are you doing exactly? How many drills are you doing per day?
Oh, well, I train myself Jiu-Jitsu 3 times a day, plus conditioning every day, and plus my classes that I teach, you know.
Busy schedule.
Yeah, busy schedule. My first training is at 8 a.m., and my last train finished at 9 p.m. So it's really insane.
And you're doing this 7 days a week, or you are resting?
I do this 5 days a week, and then on Saturday, I do 3 hours of jiu-jitsu. And on Sunday, I do some open mat. Or when I'm really exhausted of jiu-jitsu on my fingers and my hands are really tired, I do just some cardio or something. But I always have to be active every day once I lose a lot of weight for the competition, you know?
Yeah. And are you rolling every class? Are you grappling every class, or just not
yes,
every class?
I spar every class. And I teach privates every day besides my classes, so I gotta spar a lot. But I do a lot of drills too, you know. I'm very based in doing drills for improve my speed, especially my passing, you know.
So would you say that you're doing a lot of speed drilling?
Yes, I do a lot of speed drilling every day. I do at least half hour of just strong drills, you know.
So are you?
I pick some passing positions, and I drill for a minute, and then my other partner drill for a minute, and we do that for 5-7 minutes each, and then we start a new set when I do the 7 drills straight. So I do 7 minutes straight of speed drills of passing.
So are you taking one pass? Are you chaining a few passes together? Are you staying within one technique, 2 techniques?
Yeah, I pick, for drills, I pick 5 to 7 different passes.
Nice.
And I drew a minute of each, you know?
Full speed.
And then I do, for speed. I don't drill all the way to the control of the side control, but I do the drill to the side, you know, the footwork. I'm all about the footwork, you know. And then because I try to put power on the drill, you know, so I just about the footwork. Then when I spar, then I use all my power and stuff, you know.
Of course.
How are you not getting tired from and how are you not getting sick from training so much and getting really tired? What do you do to not get sick, to not get really tired and be able to continue
to recover?
Yeah, every week.
Well, I take a lot of vitamins and supplements like DMK and potassium and glutamine, glucosamine, and BCAAs and B12, vitamin C, and I try to have a good sleep at night.
Okay. How often are you drinking water during your training?
I drink a lot of water. I drink at least 2 or 3 liters of water a day.
Nice.
And I don't worry about that. I drink a lot of water as much as I want. And I drink a lot of coffee and green tea too, you know.
And how is your diet like? Does your diet change when you're getting ready for big competitions, or is it always the same?
Yeah, it changed. My diet is all based I don't mix my carbs with my proteins. That's how I try to do. So, like, I never eat like a sandwich or something like that. Never eat like rice and steak.
Okay.
You know, or I take carbs at night. So during the day, I take no carbs at all. I take only meat or chicken, fish, a lot of fish, chicken and whey protein and salad and some fruit before class when I feel weak.
Mm-hmm.
And then at night, before I go to bed, because I feel after all day of training, I feel really like it's hard for me to sleep because my body's like tired, but so much workout, you know, I feel like it's hard to calm down. So I get some carbs, some good carbs. Sometimes I get some pasta. Sometimes mostly I get sweet potatoes, baked sweet potatoes, and with quinoa. And I eat them on the dinner. You know, my dinner is carbs only, only carbs.
And vegetables,
and
or just carbs?
Just carbs, because I get my vegetables on the lunch. My vegetables I take with meat, with the protein. But no carrots and stuff, just the green vegetables.
Interesting.
And then when it's at night, I take just carbs, isolated carbs.
Mm-hmm.
And then I go to bed. I feel like the carbs makes me sleep, you know. Especially, I don't drink sugar at all, you know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because you're really lean. So, you know, a lot of women, I'm sure, are inspired by the way you look. You're very lean. You're in great shape. So that's what you do. You don't mix carbs and proteins. You eat your carbs at the end of the day when you work hard. But let's say you're not training. Let's say you have a day off. How are you? I'm sure your diet is different when you have a day off. Is that correct?
When I'm not getting ready for competition, you mean?
No, like let's say you take Saturday off. You're not getting ready for competition and you take Saturday off. You're not training as much on a specific day. Do you still eat the same way? It's always the same?
Yes, I still eat the same way, yes.
Okay,
yes.
Cool.
I just go out of the dieting when I'm not doing the light feather weight.
Okay, understood.
If I'm doing the light feather weight, I never take nothing off. There's no day off, you know?
Yeah.
Because I'm not naturally light, you know?
Okay.
Weight like 130 pounds, no gi, easy. And I compete 118 with gi.
Yeah. So there's a difference because you have to weigh in with the gi.
Yeah, 10 pounds. And I'm 130 lean, you know? So it's super hard for me. I gotta lose my muscles too.
What do you like better? Do you like competing gi or no gi better?
Well, I like both the same, you know? I feel like no gi game is more like simple, you know? And no gi simple, and I feel like my school, Checkmate School, and especially Lucas Leite, who gave me my black belt, and I train under João Assis and Leo Vieira. And we have a strong no gi game, you know.
Okay.
So I feel like I have great coaches for no gi. And my coaches for the gear are they're the same coaches, but like the kind of guard they play is a little different in what they do. You know, my spider guard has spider and everything. So I don't know. I like gi better. I gotta tell, I like gi better, but because I was a wrestler when I was younger, you know.
Yeah.
And so I don't know. It's hard to tell. I really enjoy both. I like grapple and general, you know.
Sure. Now, talking about your past, I read that you used to do ballet growing up. Is that correct?
Yeah.
And why did you stop doing ballet?
I stopped doing ballet just because when I started to compete in Jiu-Jitsu and I got like my blue belt and I started to win the tournaments in Brazil, I started to feel like I wanted to spend more time doing Jiu-Jitsu.
Yeah.
And because I was just a teenager, I was like 16 years old, I had to go to school and do stuff, and I didn't have too much time to do both things. Okay. And so I started to focus better in Jiu-Jitsu once I got my first sponsor in the blue belt, you know. So I feel like I had to if I really wanted to be a fighter, I would have to spend more time in jiu-jitsu, so I end up like not doing too much ballet no more. But I love it, and I miss it.
Do you feel that ballet had helped you like gain an advantage once you started training jiu-jitsu? Because I know ballet, it builds a lot of balance and coordination and flexibility. Do you feel like maybe you had a little advantage coming from a dancing background?
Oh, well, I feel like yes. Nowadays not no more, because I feel like everybody, all the kids and everybody start to train so early. But I feel like when I start, yes, because a lot of people, they're not used to do that much of sports in Brazil. So when they used to like start a little older, and because I started ballet so young, more than just flexibility, of course. But like, I feel like the coordination, the body conscious, because ballet is so sharp and all the movements are so, you have to be on time with the music and it has to be perfect. And ballet is not like jiu-jitsu. Jiu-jitsu is like an infinity of movements. But I used to do the classic ballet. So the classic ballet is kind of, you do the same things over and over. So you improve the same things over and over. That you create too many things.
Okay.
In other kinds of ballet, yes, but not the classic ballet. You kind of do the same thing and improve on that. And so I was, I think like, when I started training jiu-jitsu, I could assimilate all the grips and everything, because I was used to have to be on time and sharp with my movements,
Of course.
So, of course, I think ballet helped me a lot.
My next question is, who inspires you in jiu-jitsu these days? It could be anybody. It doesn't have to be a jiu-jitsu person. Who inspires you? Are there people in competition that inspire you? Are there authors? Are there other athletes from other sports that inspire you? Who inspires you, and maybe what inspires you?
Okay. Who inspires me first, I take a look from I look up to my coach a lot, and I like for Leo the way he's very calm and conscious about everything, and Lucas the way he fights, like especially the way he fights, he never stops fighting no matter what. If he wins or if he's losing, he goes like intense 10 minutes.
Yeah.
And like, this is very inspiring. But nowadays, I feel like my kids inspire me the most. My students,
Okay. The young ones.
Yeah, the young ones, because I feel like it's not that just inspired, but they make me they make me want to give the best of myself,
Yeah.
Because
they look up to you.
In the beginning, I used to try the best of myself, so I could get like my teammates would like think, oh, she's good, and would give me value, especially my teammates and the girls like Michelle and Louisa, the girls I used to train with.
Yeah.
And like, I wanted to be a good training for them,
Mm-hmm.
But like now more the kids, because I want them to say like, oh, that my coach is the best, or like, or when I see they doing a position that I show them. And like when they see me doing something, they like, I have a gi and they want to have the same gi. So it makes me want to do my best. They give the best of them too,
Right. How has teaching improved your jiu-jitsu game?
Oh, improved a lot, because I used to have my game, and like, of course, I was to learn and everything. But when you have one strong game, you always try to sharp this game. But once I started to teach, I had to open up the game to make like, I can just show what I do, and I want to make my students be like complete.
Yeah.
And so when I show them one position, more than just to show the position, when we're going to spar, I spar with all my students. So I make that position work. So I need to make sure, I always feel like if I show one position, I need to put that position in practice with my students. Oh yeah, that works.
Yeah.
The most important for me is when I show a move, make sure that it's really going to work. So I stud more, and I force myself to play different games to show my students that that's really like not bullshit,
Absolutely.
And so it forced me to study what I not used to do too much before, and apply different techniques, not just like my guard and like.
Of course, yeah. I mean, we have students too. Yeah, it's very rewarding training kids, and you almost have to say, all right, I have to start showing things. Maybe I haven't drilled in so long. So maybe I'm not a closed guard player, but I have to start showing them the closed guard armbar. Very basic moves. It forces you to teach the basics again and cover those grounds.
Yes, yes. The base gets super strong. That's what I feel. I start to trust my base more once I have to give this idea for them, you know?
There's a lot of women out there that maybe are a little scared off because there's a room full of men in a jiu-jitsu class. But what can you recommend to women that are training jiu-jitsu? They really just started getting into it, but they're a little shy because there's mostly guys in the gym. How do you train with guys in jiu-jitsu at a high level, and what can you recommend to women so they're not scared off as much?
I feel like the guys are mostly nice, especially because my team is a team where we have like girls teams ever, you know? We have a pioneer girl in our team that's Michelle Nicodine, and she's like 8 times world champion black belt, and like, so she made it easier for us, you know?
Yeah.
And so, but I'll tell you, I see the girls saying they're shy and everything, but I never had any problems training with guys or like nothing. But I feel like most of my students, sometimes they have hard times starting training with guys. In the beginning. So I think it's really important every school to have a little dedication to the girls too, because sometimes the girls they're shy, but not just because this is training with a male, but because they don't want to feel like they're making the class slowing down the class, or they're like making the guys training less. So I feel like that's important to let every school or the girls have to find some partners who are going to give them a good base and make them comfortable to go and train with the guys, you know?
Yeah. So you're saying maybe add like a women's only class, or you're saying make sure we have enough girls so that they can roll together?
Or a girls class, or have some guys that are gonna like have the patience to go make the girl comfortable, you know, because what I feel is that a lot of people think that the girls want to train with the guys just because it's a male and a female, but I don't feel like that. I feel like the girls, they're just shy to not improve on the class as much as like the guys do. Yeah. Or, you know, some girls are more shy about that. But like I used to teach a girls only class at João's school, and I teach the class over there for 2 years, you know?
Okay.
And so after these 2 years, I told him, man, there's no reason why I have a girls only class no more, because all the girls, they're already feeling comfortable enough to do both classes, you know?
Yeah.
And so I feel like that more than just like the girls, not all the girls are very confident and to get into a like most male class, you know?
Yeah.
So I think it's more having someone that has a lot of patience to give the girl like time to feel comfortable, you know?
I know from experience, we actually had a women's class, and it became more of an intro to jiu-jitsu for women where they can feel comfortable. But our ultimate goal for this women's class was to transition them out from that one class into the regular class with everybody.
Yes, that's how I feel. Yeah, my classes at João was exactly that. Yeah, the girls that never train jiu-jitsu and teach them a base, and then like soon they're doing the other class too. So we don't want to like really just separate. Oh no, I just train with the girls or just train with guys, you know. But like at checkmate, we have so many girls that like when it's like worlds or some specific training for something, I don't feel like I need training with guys, you know.
Yeah, right. Going back into competition training, how important is specific training for you? Positional sparring, positional training, and do you do a lot of it?
Yes, I do it a lot, and I think it's very important because when you compete, of course, you're going to put your game on first, but not always you're able to do that. Anything can happen there, and everybody's training hard for put your game first. And, like, you're not always going to be able to do yours. And specific training, a lot of people hate specific training, but, like,
because it's hard.
Yeah, it's hard, but it's the most important part of the class because when you're forced to do that thing that you're not used to do too much.
Yeah.
Right.
And you have no option, you got to improve in that thing, because if you just roll and you just spar, you kind of put yourself in your position, and you kind of get the ego that oh, he passed because he was stronger. Oh, that position is not my strong. But when you do the specific training, you're just focused in one thing that mostly is not what you're good at, you know?
How do you like to structure your positional training rounds? Are you doing maybe 2 minutes in a specific position?
Or first point wins?
Well, we do a lot of, first I start my class with the drills, a lot of drills, minute drills and stuff. And then after go to simple positions, and depends on the coach and what you're doing. And then the specific training is always about the position you're training. So if I'm showing a spider guard position, we're going to start with specific training and spider guard, and we're going to go for the first pointer submission for sure. And other thing is, I feel like I always did ever since my white belt, and that makes a lot of difference for me now that I'm a black belt. If I drill a position for one side, I have to do for the other side too. So if I do 10 times to the right, to make sure I had done 10 times to the left too. I never drill one side only.
Nice.
I feel like I'm not even. I have to do the same much for both sides,
Nice, and that makes you well-rounded, especially when passing the guard. You have to be able to switch sides.
Yeah, and playing too. A lot of people play guard only one side, half guard to one side. I always because in ballet we are like that, switch another side. So when I start in Jiu-Jitsu, I always did, if I do a position to one side, I do to the other side. So now I feel like I can pass both sides and I can play guard both sides. I feel like higher belts, they're oh, no, I can't do the other side. So I don't want to be black belt to the right and blue belt to the left, I want to be black belt both sides,
Do you think?
I think in the end, after years, made a lot of difference on my game.
Do you think beginners should practice both sides, or should they master one side?
Yes, I force all my students to do the same punch for one side, then to the other side.
Cool. Excellent.
I think that's really, really, I think is the basic thing about doing something, is to do even for both sides. I have this theory.
Pati, we have to run. I'm sorry. I wish we had a little bit more time. Maybe we'll get you on again, but we have to go run.
We will get her on again. We love Pati.
Oh, yeah. Call me again.
Do you want to give any shout-outs to any of your sponsors or anything like that?
Oh, yes. I would saying that thanks for my sponsors. I have Phalanx sponsor me as a no-gi brand. And Moya brand sponsor me as a gi, and they give me they support me a lot about my lifestyle and anything I need here in America. I'm in America for 4 years,
Wow.
and and everything I have is for my sponsors and my students, and of course my team who supports me. And I'm a Jiu-Jitsu World League ambassador too, and I'm working together with them to bring a lot of news about the Jiu-Jitsu in general, not just as a sport, not just as a technical and tournaments, but I want the goal of them, the Jiu-Jitsu World League, and what I'm trying to make with Jiu-Jitsu World League is bring to the Jiu-Jitsu community, the Jiu-Jitsu tournaments be something fun, not just for the fighters, but all the family, because most of the times you go to the tournament, it's all about the matches, and it's kind of boring, And I want to make the Jiu-Jitsu community and the tournaments a show, music and attractions and everything that makes the grandma and the auntie to to be there, and they'll be oh my God, I gotta wait my kids to fight. Oh my God, I can't wait to leave.
Wow.
Awesome. Well, that's great. We definitely got to check out Jiu-Jitsu World League, a live event for sure.
For sure.
Yeah, we just had a tournament yesterday. We have music, we have show, we have a lot of things happening around the tournament that make it more than just the match, Because when you go to the match, it's interesting for the fighters and for who really enjoy to watch. But if you just go all about the matches, it's really hard to attract different people
Sure.
to come to its tournaments, you know.
Yeah.
Right.
Well,
So I think everything around is really important, you know, and the kids and everything that makes the kids like to be there and not force there, you know.
awesome.
Awesome.
Well, Patty, we got to go. We got to run. We'll talk to you soon. Thank you so much for coming on.
Thanks, Patty.
Thank you. Hope to talk to you guys again. And
Have a
Bye.
great training day.
okay, thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.